That's 1 for 1. Jeez. Maybe the gentleman is a 5XL instead of a 4XL, and he got bigger in the time between ordering the shirt. I'm not sure. How's it going? My name's Sean. I'm a full-time clothing eBay reseller, and I make YouTube videos talking about it. So in this video, I just want to talk to you about a negative feedback that I received recently from a disgruntled buyer. Now, I have a lot of positive feedback. When I got the negative feedback, I didn't even notice it because it didn't even drop me down from 100%, which is pretty crazy. But then I saw that one in the little negative feedback column for the most recent, I think it's 30 days, 6 months, and then 1 year. It shows like those feedbacks. I don't know, curious to see what had gone wrong because, well, I never get negative feedback. So I clicked into it and the buyer had said that the size did not match the description. Now, I take the pit-to-pit measurements and the length measurements on all the tops that I sell. It includes like jackets and hoodies and things like that. He had bought a short sleeve button shirt. Now, the tag size was rubbed off on it. The pit-to-pit was 28 inches, wide, and then based on other shirts like that, I put it as a 4XL because, 28 pit-to-pit, it's pretty massive. I messaged the buyer. Now, I did not message through the feedback. I decided to message through contact buyer. And then when the buyer responded, he said, "No, I didn't get the measurement incorrect. You put it incorrect," or something to that effect. So at that point, I knew not to bother with requesting a feedback revision from the buyer because that kind of locks up the whole situation and it allows the buyer to give a chance to make a decision. And then I did mention that he could return the item too, and he never said anything that he wanted to return it. So a lot of times buyers on eBay they're upset when they buy things that doesn't fit. Maybe the gentleman is a 5XL instead of a 4XL, and he got bigger in the time between ordering the shirt. I'm not sure. But what I decided to do was contact eBay. Now, before COVID, you used to be able to just find the number for eBay, call them, and get somebody instantly. Now, I've heard of this concierge service that high-level sellers get privy access to. Now, I'm a decently high seller, but not high enough to get that number, or maybe I missed the boat on all that. So there is a way to email eBay, and within 24 to 48 hours, they come back with a response. So I decided to email them. I said, "Hey, look, I got a negative feedback. The buyer said the size wasn't correct. I have the measurements in the photos. What do I need to do?" So it wasn't like the little automated chat. It was just like the email. Now, it's kind of difficult to actually get to that email spot because eBay they give you a bunch of information to try to solve the problem yourself without them having to do any work. So I imagine somebody has the job at eBay that gets all these emails. They probably knock out the easiest ones first and then saves the hard ones. Well, that one seemed to be pretty easy. And I think it was about 8 to 10 hours later, eBay had emailed me back saying "Hey, we checked over your issue, and we deem that you're not at fault." So then the negative feedback was removed, and we're all back into positive place because I'm not against somebody ordering the wrong size and sending the item back and me giving them a refund. I'm totally okay with that. But whenever they send a negative feedback and then don't return the item, it's kind of hard for me to understand why that's okay. So simple way to get away with that, to get that removed. And I do recommend doing that because after 60 days, I think you cannot get a negative feedback removed, at least not very easily if you're able to. So that's the first part of this video. The second part of this video, I'm going to ship some items, and I wanted to talk about this bag right here. So that is a USPS bag that I use to take my packages. I have about 18 orders to pack up this morning, and somebody told me, "Hey, why do you always throw the packages on the floor, and why not instead throw it inside the bag with a holder?" Now that bag, I think the holder was like 25 to 30 bucks on Amazon, including shipping. I saw Daily Refinement, it's Chris, he had one similar to it, and I said, what the heck? You can put the wire things, you see how it's like that square that it has right there, you can actually turn it the other way to make it even wider if you have a bigger bag, but that bag doesn't stretch very far. So we're actually going to just shoot the items into the bag and probably try to go 18 for 18 or however many are here, but let's just knock out the first order that we have to ship and see how the bag holder holds up. First up, it's a Polo Ralph Lauren. I sell these all the time. As a clothing seller, I've found that casual button-down shirts seems to be a really easy category because a lot of people don't buy that type of shirt. It's one of the slower moving categories. Now, I don't have the exact dates on like when everything sold, although I had a buyer that requested to do like a what sold video and like tell how long it takes to list. The best thing I can go off of is like the SKU number right here. So this is 10,957 and we're currently at 19,000. So I would say this one took probably about 3 months to sell, and there's really no exact basis. I would have to go into each one and figure it out. I think there's a way to do it quickly, but I haven't really set that up. Oh shoot, this is gonna be the first one. First one on camera, let's just see how it does. That's 1 for 1. I think it's worth it just because of that shot. And what it reminds me of, if you guys have ever had that, the Michael Jordan like basketball ring for shooting like your dirty socks into a laundry hamper, or like shooting paper balls into the trash, that's how I felt. And I did have to use the Bears banner as kind of like a backboard, and I don't really want to be disrespecting the Bears banner like that because we are going to the playoffs this year. So mark my words, with the addition of the new players we got. Justin Fields in his third year. I was gonna go like that, third year. Dang, is my pinky like? Do you guys have like small digits? I feel like my fingers are kind of skinny. I'm a bit of a thinner guy, but yeah, that's something that's happening. We're going to the playoffs. I'm excited about it. I pretty much have I've had kind of a weird morning. Like I am a bit sick. It doesn't look sick. I don't look sick, but like my throat, I just feel like whenever you're sick and you have like a sore throat, I have that, but I don't have any like drainage in my nose at least. And I'm not sneezing or coughing. So not really sure what the deal is with that. My wife, she did say we had some throat lozenges. Cough drops is another way to call them. These are the Halls. I'm actually going to put one in. I hope it doesn't bother anybody with me talking, but it's I don't know, it hurts after a little bit of time. I did throw the hat on backwards. This is my Howler Bros hat. I knew when I picked this up I'd be wearing it just about every day. It's one of my favorite hats, but because I wasn't feeling well, I tried to mix things up today. I said, you know what? Let's do something crazy. Let's throw the hat on backwards. I've done it for one other video, and that was the mystery box video, which, this company gave me a mystery box, and I, reviewed it on the channel, did all the good stuff. And I had the hat on backwards, and I don't know, I was just feeling a little crazy. And I always say, if you're feeling a little crazy and you want to go with the Daisy, you can get these Daisy poly mailers from Jiaropack. You can use my code Taylor10. You get 10% off. They have Daisy, they have blue, black, green, purple, pink, like all the different colors you want for poly mailers. And it's actually some of the cheapest poly mailers around. I would suggest checking them out. All right. Oh, off the back rim. Let's just check out the back rim real quick. That's going to be a bit of a problem. I guess we can back it up a little bit. The problem is the opening doesn't like splay out like all that much because it is only so big of like a circumference. Dang. So maybe I need to like loft them up there. And I'd like to do it without looking. So I think the next few I'll do without looking because when they do make, it'll look a lot cooler. And we're always kind of going for those vibes. Yeah, that was a short sleeve polo Ralph Lauren. Now with short sleeve polo Ralph Laurens, if it's a solid color, like a medium large, extra large, you can expect like, I don't know, $19 shipped on those, which is pretty low because a lot of people price them up, and it's just kind of the nature of the beast. Like, I think what I'm going to start doing is buying like a few like pairs of shoes, a couple of higher dollar items. Like winter's coming, so I'll look through the jackets a little bit more, but I also want to go to more garage sales and estate sales and find like other kind of hard good items, just because I think the point of view videos, I put one out actually most recently. The point of view videos are actually pretty cool, and I think I can get better content out for people who like looking through that stuff because it's fun for me too. My wife likes going to those sales, so I think I can make it more of like a family thing with my son and my wife, shoot some videos, and then also capitalize on like buying stuff for myself and then maybe buying the occasional like $100+ item to sell. All right, ground advantage is a lifesaver too. I was gonna make a video about that. I'm waiting until September to make that video because I'm contractually obligated with Jiaropack to make a video every month to talk about them. And People had asked, they looked at my most recent shipping video of like how to ship items on eBay, and it's dated because now Ground Advantage is here. So I need to do an update video so that people quit commenting like this information's obsolete. Because it's like, yeah, dude, check out the it's like check out the video date, you know, and like see when Ground Advantage was released. Because I don't want no hate comments just because like they can't figure out Ground Advantage and I haven't like, you know, put the video out yet. These button-up shirts are great, and the reason I was thinking about like putting shoes into the category is because I sold a pair of shoes and I actually wore them for like months on end, and they still sold for like $24, and they're kind of beat up. It's a pair of Adidas like slip-on shoes. Slip-on being it has like the faux laces. I don't know what they call that, but it's really popular nowadays, and it's really convenient to just slide on too. So I may look into the shoes. I think I'm going to sell some of my like camera equipment too. I think that'd be like a wise thing to do because I think I figured it out finally, like with the camera stuff, what works best. Vintage Wrangler Pearl Snaps. That's going to be the next one. And I don't know. It's Wrangler Pearl Snaps, like, they sell really well. A lot of people like the Pearl Snaps. Some of the stuff sells for a lot more if you're talking the brush poppers. But a lot of them do sell for like 23, 25 bucks. You know, sometimes 19. I like picking them up. It's basically what's mostly in my area is Western stuff because we're here in Texas. Here's the shoes I sold. It's these Adidas, but look at the bottoms. Like, there is some tread still on them, but trust me, they're pretty worn. I may have to go, it's right over £1 on those shoes. So we'll see if Ground Advantage helps with that shoe, the shoe label. I'm not getting enough like push on the throw. But yeah, I usually go flat rate for shoes in the legal envelope, but we'll see what this comes out to. Somebody asked about like the dimensions. The dimensions do matter if it's like over £1, in my opinion. Yeah, so Ground Advantage is $7.85, and then Priority Flat Rate is $7.90. So I think for 5 cents more, I'll do the Priority Flat Rate just to increase the speed. With these, I've talked about it. You just flatten the bottom, and you do it like so. Now these shoes are a size 10.5. They may be a size 10. And usually that's kind of the max that will fit in there. You see that? And then if you want, you just, where if I get the camera a little lower? Yeah. So you just kind of like tuck it in like this. And then you fold the top over. You grab the edges here, flatten it, and you'll get something like this. See? And now some post offices will not like you manipulating the box like this. But you know, if you're nice to them, just tell them. You can either play dumb like you didn't know, but honestly, it's at their discretion. It's not like totally against their rules to do this. But it's something I've been doing for many a years. It ends up being like a little rectangle. And I put one piece of tape here. And then I put ones here just to kind of make it easier for them. There we go. Not too bad. So on slower days that I don't feel well, one of the first reactions that I have when I wake up is I want to go source. And I think I got to throw this too. I may pitch it kind of like a, almost like an option play. Jesus. I guess the running back missed the pitch on that one. What I was getting at was when I woke up not feeling well, one of the things I was thinking of was like, oh, I guess I'll go sourcing. Because it's like, it's literally, especially if it's in town, not talking about like driving on a trip to source, but just source in town. It's one of those things that it's super easy. You're like, well, it is working, you know, you're finding items to sell. But if your head's not in the space to source like quickly and like properly and look things up, then you might just be wasting your time. So I decided to kind of like take it easy and start listing items instead. I have a part-time employee, Randy, she photographs a bunch of my items. I went like this to photograph. She uses a phone. So she photographs all the items, and I have a bunch of photos of items that I can list. So I decided just to stay and list because typically that's a task I wait for later in the day. And then I was thinking, you know, after getting coffee in and like that caffeine didn't do anything for me, I was thinking like, man, I'm still really down. I'm not feeling energized. I'm not pumped up. I didn't have the strength to work out or the motivation to like get in there. I tried doing a couple pull-ups. So I was like, you know what, let's go to the shower and just like stick my head in the water with the cold water coming down. Not like jumping in the shower, but just getting my hair wet because I am trying to grow it out some. And that kind of woke me up. And then I put the hat on backwards. I put the deodorant. I tried to like freshen up for the day. And I said, you know what, I got to ship items. You got to do that every day if you have one day handling. And I was like, let's record. You know, I did a little short that I'm going to edit after this probably of picking the items and put some cool music and stuff to try to grow the Instagram. And then I'm like, well, let's record a video. And I didn't know what kind of video it was going to be. So this is it. I hope you guys like it. This is a Rhone. Rhone is R-H-O. No, not Rhone. It's Rhoback. R-H-O back. So this was a quarter zip. I bought it at a Plato's Closet for $10. I probably would have paid $20 for it. It sold for $68.99. That's including shipping. So really good purchase here. Okay, yeah. So if I look, I can make it pretty often. But if I don't look, it's more entertaining. And like I said, if we make it and I don't look, like it'll be good. And I still kind of am looking like into the camera because I can see on the screen like what y'all are looking at. But yeah, let's just continue on. This is a J. Crew. J. Crew's not like the greatest brand. It's pretty common, but this one still sold for $21. Just a long sleeve button shirt. The reason it did sell, I think, is because it's organic cotton. A lot of people like to go organic, whether it's eating or, you know, like cotton. So it was a good seller. That's decent enough. You're spending $4 or less. A lot of thrift stores are going to $5 and $6 though. So kind of makes the margins tough, and you got to figure out ways to get items cheaper, which is always a challenge, but it's doable. It's definitely doable. Oh yeah, I need to stop looking, but all right, here's another one. This sale just came in. I didn't pick it up though. It'll be on the next video, but it's a $80 sale on a shirt. But it's gonna be for the next day. Here's a good one though. This is Boy Scouts of America. Boy Scouts of America is pretty great. I was never a scout myself. I don't know if I'd be cut out for it, but Boy Scouts of America, this is the switchback shorts. Now, they have a lot of, or not shorts, but they're pants. It has the zip-off shorts. You can use convertible, switchback. These sold for about $40, including shipping. Mainly because, well, I think a lot of dads out there, you know, that are scout leader, scout fathers, I guess they would be. They probably end up joining the camping trips and stuff. And they need a pair of pants that are nice to wear. These also would be good for like hiking. And it could also go to the buyer who's like was a scout growing up, you know, and then now he's an adult and just wants to go camping. See, it's not going to work for those big ones. So far, I'm not entirely impressed with the $30 rack for the bag opener, but maybe I'm just getting used to it. It is nice you can return stuff on Amazon. But we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. This is a Croft and Borrow. I think I just need to keep it for the lightweight stuff. Yeah, this is Croft and Borrow Quick Dry. That's like, it's a sleeper in the thrifts. A lot of thrift stores, though, will price up lightweight stuff, like the breathable PFGs, Magellans, and stuff. Croft and Borrow falls into that same family of style of shirt. This one sold for $25, including shipping, so pretty good. Got a pair of jeans too. I would say I'd get back into jeans, but I don't really like. I don't like storing jeans, and I don't necessarily like packing them either. Like shirts are so much easier, in my opinion. Close. So this is Salvage Anarchy. Salvage is a pair of jeans that it's like, I think it's part of BKE's line. I'm not entirely sure. It says Salvage on it. It's always got the thick stitching, which is pretty easy to identify. I got these off the new rack though. They sold for 35 bucks. Probably paid like $9 for them. But that's not too bad. This is a pretty good shirt. It's called Billy Reed. It's 100% linen. I probably could have gotten more money for it, but I took an offer on it. I decided to take $20.99 plus $8.99 shipping, so 30 bucks into the Billy Reed. I paid $6 for it. 6 into 30 on a first class item is pretty good. But yeah, another thing I want to talk about is just like the changings of sales seasons when it comes to eBay. School year started back up. The summer was it was pretty rough. I had a couple weeks where it was just like below average. Like I'm kind of getting out of that kind of a week, but I had one before July. It was like in July I had a pretty slow week. So definitely trying to like just increase my listings. I'm trying to increase the quality of items. But having a part-time employee, you always want to have work for her. So that is one thing. Yeah, I may just look. I may just look for all of them. That is one thing though. You want to have work for them. Whether that be taking photos, detagging, listing items, shipping items, although I've been having her do mainly photos just because she's so good at it, and it really helps me make more money because I'm a lot faster at listing items. Because if you have somebody else list for you, if you don't have the items like priced out, like if you got to double check the price or something, then you have to go back into the listings anyway. And by the time you go through the listing, it takes about as much time as it would be if you just list it yourself from the way that I do it. So it's a little bit of a challenge when it comes to that, but all in all, I mean, I'm really happy with her though. She's definitely helped the business, helped me grow my YouTube channel, because without her doing a lot of that work, I wouldn't have the hours to do the content, which I'm really enjoying and kind of sharing with you guys. Just trying to share with you guys like my life, you know, kind of how things are going. Yeah, it's good, man. It's going really well. I don't know if you guys ever shop at Aldi's, but I shopped at Aldi's the other day and I found filet mignons, and it was $9 a pound. So you got like 2 of them in the pack, and they're I guess half pound each. So I'm gonna start getting some more of those and try to perfect like a way to grill them, just because it does take some practice, because they're so thick that, you know, the outside will cook faster than the inside, and you kind of want to get that perfect temperature in the middle. The first one I made was pretty much like medium rare to rare in the middle, and then the second one I made was more it was more medium, like I like it, and medium rare. So I definitely need some practice, have to buy a few more, but they're good, man. I feel like the meat and fruit diet, my friend Brian Roning and I were talking about that, and it really does help the body. Just like, it's like less bread, less things that make you feel bloated, you know, just like meat and fruits. Another thing I started eating was dates. You guys had dates before? Dates are like it's like a raisin, like a super raisin, and then it's got a pit in the middle. So you chew around it, and I don't know if fig Newtons and dates have anything, like if they're in cahoots with each other, but they're pretty awesome. It's got a lot of like sweet to it, and it also has like I think it's 2 of them are 100 calories or 110 calories, and I guess it's like a superfood as well. So dates are definitely gonna be more of a staple for my diet, just because they're delicious, and it kind of keeps me from buying candy. I used to buy bags of candy a lot, and I'm really trying to get away from candy because it's terrible for you. And the dates, I think, are gonna do it. I do also think I need like better clips to hold that bag. They come with these cheap little clips, and they keep falling off whenever I throw the item in the bag. And I suppose I could have it close by where I could just like drop it in, and that would be, I think, the safe way to do it, the safe route. But if we're gonna set it up, like, I don't want that thing in like the middle of my room, and I guess I could move it back and forth, put it next to me, but we're just gonna have to give it a go. We're gonna have to give it a few tries doing this. I think that's one of the most important things. Trying new things, trying to keep things fun and entertaining, because this business, this day job can get kind of like dull. Yeah, it's not even holding it open right now. It can get a bit dull, you know, working by yourself, being your own boss, not having like, you know, I mean, I got my dog, Ragnar, but he's crazy half the time. He's always just running around in the backyard, and I feel like I taught him chase way too early, meaning like I chased him as a puppy because it was fun and adorable, and now he thinks everything is chase, and we can't just go out there and like be cool. But once he gets that energy out, he's pretty chill. But yeah, he constantly just wants to run. But he's a good guy. I don't know if Fig Newtons and dates have anything, like if they're in cahoots with each other.